Hey guys, welcome back to Gulfside Bait Works. Today we're going to do another mold review, and we're reviewing Swamptrout's ST4 mold. So here it is. This one you'll notice is a double. All the other Swamptrout molds that we've checked out have been singles, and I believe this makes all of his molds. We'll have reviewed all of his molds with this one, at least the ones out as of this videotaping. So this one is the 4-inch. It looks very similar to the ST5, but a lot smaller. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do this one in swim bait blend. Medium is the preferred size for, or preferred durometer for this mold, and it takes the 15-inch eyes just like all the other Swamptrout molds, except for the Creek Shot. That one takes 8 inches, but the rest take 15s. So, what are we going to shoot it in? We're going to shoot it in one of my personal favorite color schemes that I like to call Blue Craw Gold Shad. The bottom is simple. It's just gold highlight powder. I usually use Lure Crafts, but anybody's should work. For the top, our main color is Blue Craw. And my original version of this was just those two things. And then, later I added Black Flake, but now LureWorks has Bronze Flake. And I found that this stuff is awesome in so many different things. So we're going to do Bronze Flake in both 0.015 and 0.040. And to add to the Blue Craw, we're going to put some crushed rupees in blue. This stuff is so cool. It looks awesome in everything. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Plastic just beeped. I got to vac it, and we'll be back and get our colors mixed. Alright, we're back. Plastic is hot and ready, so let's go ahead and get this going. So we're going to do our bottom first. That's going to be our gold highlight color. We're going to go with a 132 on this one. So put a 132 in there. We don't want to go crazy with the highlight. We want it to be at least a little bit clear. I mean, if you like it opaqued out, you can. That's fine. When you're making custom stuff, you can do that. But yeah, so let's mix this up. And what this is going to give us is the gold highlight gives you that gold shine at certain angles. And what's really cool is the top is going to be very dark, so it's going to play against it and almost look like it's got a gold bloodline at some angles. So that is always super cool. I really like this color. I've caught fish on it. This is the modified version because we've got some cooler pigments now than I originally had. But yeah, I love this color. Blue Craw is super cool by itself. But all these things added to it really can enhance it. That's not too bad. There's still some chunks in there, but I've noticed when you microwave it, a lot of times microwaving it will break those chunks up and help it. So we will rewarm these up before we pour. So now let's start out. We'll start out with 40 drops here. The past when I've made this, I've kind of eyeballed it because you end up needing to use a lot of Blue Craw. So we'll start with 40. We got 40 in there. We'll check that out and see what 40 looks like. Because we do want this to be dark because that bait is fairly thin. Now, the thing about Blue Craw is if it's not thin enough, it just looks blue. Or sorry, if it's not dark enough in here, it ends up just looking blue. If you want that brown, it's got to be thick enough. You can get away with less pigment in it if you're pouring a real fat bait, but when you're pouring skinny bait, you got to make sure you got enough pigment in there to make up for it. And that goes for anything and everything. 40 looks good here. Let's see what it looks like down here. Look at it from some different angles. Yeah, that looks pretty dark. We might be okay with that. Yeah, we'll start with that, and it's gonna darken up when we add these as well. So we're gonna got our 040 bronze. We're using a cup, so let's do a 16th. Yeah, 16th. Because we are doing two different sizes as well. So there's our 040, and for our 0.015 as well, another 16th. And for our crushed rupees, we'll do an 1/8, so we have an equal amount of blue and bronze. Gotta wipe that off. All right, cool. So here is our crushed rupees from 8-Bit Baits, and we're doing a hearty 1/8 in there for those. Sorry, 1/8, 16th? 8, yes. That's what I said before. Love these things. You can't go wrong with the 8-bit stuff. It all looks awesome. Mix that up in there. And here we go. See the colors on the side there. Starting to get thick on me. What are we at? 280. So this is definitely going to need to be warmed up before we pour. So we'll go ahead and warm this up, and then we will get ready to pour. All right, we got everything we need. Our plastic's up at about 350 right now. So we'll get a good bond between them, and we're going to go ahead and pour. So I'm going to pour these just about up to the top of the hook slot, which, you know, that's normal. Though there's not a lot of space above the hook slot, so we don't want to go too much above it. And we're doing like we usually do, just one right after the other here, so we get a little mixing and bonding throughout the entire bait. We get a little over pour there, but that's okay. You got to make sure you pour those tails real slow. If you pour the tails fast on these, you will get bubbles. So take your time, pour them slow. And I like to pour from the front and move back. And I believe Swamp Trout told me he likes to do it that way too. He will pour them a similar way to what I'm doing here. Though I think that he does it faster. I think that's the way he described it, was pouring the top half quite a bit faster. So it's not the exact same as what I do, but if you've seen his Instagram, you know the way he does it works, because his stuff looks amazing. So taking our time on that tail, there we go. You know, and again, when you're real hot like this, if you over pour it a little bit, not a big deal, and just wipe it off the top. Doesn't work if your plastic's cooler though, so make sure you are only doing that if you're dealing with hot plastic. So we're going to give that some time to cool, and then we will come back and check them out. All right, we're back. We've let these sit for a while. I let these sit a little longer than I do the bigger ones, because the swim bait blend definitely takes longer to harden than when you're using either saltwater or crawl tube on the big ones. So we're back, so we're going to check these guys out and see how they look. All right. Here we go. So there we have it. It's like a smaller version of that ST5 we looked at before. And when you'll see certain angles, we got some gold, You get the blue and the brown and some shininess from the crushed rupees all in that top one. And this one does take the big 15mm eye, which we will do some 15mm eyes on these as well. All right, up we go. Perfect. So yeah, there we go. There's our bait. Looking good. Looking good. You know, and especially when you look at it at some certain angles, you can really see all the colors because of all the different shapes and textures he molded onto the head of this thing. So that's awesome. Love this mold. Looking good. Let's put some eyes on these bad boys. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna do these right here. All right. We're gonna do these eyes right here. Oh, I got one I already started on. There we go. So that's the eyes we're going to use. Let me grab my glue. There it is. And got something stuck there. All right. And let's glue some eyes on these bad boys. So same glue as always. We're using the Loctite Super Gel. Again, I've tried other things didn't work. But this stuff seems to do a good job, and again, that's probably the reason everyone uses it. All right. There's one. There we go. Oh man, thought I had a big glob of super glue on my finger. It was just clear plastic, so we were good. We were good. All right. All right, flip them over. And get the other sides. So there's one. And we'll get the other one finished up here. All right. Didn't get a lot on there, but that's okay. Stuff's pretty tough. All right, cool. So, we got the eyes on these. So let me pull that camera around. We can check it all out. Take a look at what we've got. So we've got our ST4 baits. We've got our mold. Colors we use today: Dead on Plastic Blue Craw, 2 sizes of bronze Lureworks glitter, and of course 8-bit baits crushed rubies for the top, and some gold highlight from the Lure Craft on the bottom. So yeah, there's our bait for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in this bait, you can contact Swamptrout on Instagram for the mold. Here's a little closer look at the mold. Yeah, so you can contact Swamptrout on Instagram for the mold. He is super cool, and if you want one, definitely reach out. I will link his Instagram to the video. So if you like the video or you have any thoughts, comment, like, subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you around the shop again. Thanks for coming by Gulfside Baitworks.